You can't time travel, but your phone has the internet from 5 years in the future. What do you search for first? Lottery numbers, stock prices, my name. Semicolon. You may ask why my name, but it's very simple as I then can learn if I died until then, or got caught for some shit, and are still in prison. Edit. Whoa. I didn't expect anything. Many thanks for the awards and upvotes. I would do it in this order. Name, stock, lottery, name again. This would indicate if the future is deterministic or not. Does anything about your future change after you learned about future financials? Closed bracket comma. And also ensure you maximize your earnings in the event that lottery winnings and stock markets may affect each other. This is all assuming if the future is not deterministic, that events in the present instantly propagate into the future, rather than like in the Journeyman project where there's a reality distortion field that takes time to propagate outward from the changed event. Betty White and Keith Richards. I assume they'll both be alive, but I want to know for sure. GTA 6th release date. GTA V Remastered 2 will be out by then. Elder Scrolls 6 Gameplay. You mean Skyrim for the Samsung fridge. Grays. Sports. Almanac. Oolala. Oolala. Exclamation mark. Question mark. Exclamation mark. Question mark. r/unexpected. Edit. Holy shit, that's real. I search porn to see if the industry has gotten over its step family obsession. Yes, but they only drop the step part. The family that lays together, stays together. The family that ducks together, stucks together. It's the getting stuck part that starts it usually anyway. Ghislaine Maxwell suicide date. No, but there was a tragic car accident on the way to court. Besides the obvious, lottery, election, myself, etc. I would want to see if opera made a comeback after the pandemic, or if the virus was the final nail in the coffin of this art form, which has been slowly headed towards its demise for decades now. Edit. I should have said here that I'm a huge opera fan, and I hope I'm wrong. And I'm not talking about the web browser. Opera generally draws a big crowd. At least the times I've attended. I've sat all the way in the back when that was all I could get. Lots of season ticket holders. My name plus obituary. If I get more searches. 2020. 2024 election results. Covered vaccine FDA approval parent company. TSLA. Goog. APPL. FB prices. You've given this a lot of thought. I think we've discovered a time traveler. Stock market. And not to any ducking one. Unless ask Reddit. Dear editors, what is your go-to plan to get rich? Like a fax from future me. Do not drink that coffee. Identity theft is not a joke, sir. Find out when the coronavirus was eradicated and invest in stocks accordingly. It took 181 years to eradicate smallpox. Post-vaccine. Oh my god. I hope it is not a long wait this time. Completely eradicating a disease isn't required for it to no longer be a globe-stopping threat. Once a vaccine, and there will be one, gets rolled out to a good portion of the population, it'll stop controlling our lives like it currently is. I've played Pandemic, can confirm. Dank memes from the future, so I can pre-repost them for that sweet karma. I'm gonna go all/r/semonkey-spore on you, and say that, when you post those dank memes, you get minimal karma, but the person who reposts your stolen future memes gets the karma, which is who you steal them from in the future. Christopher Nolan wants to know your location. Dankception. COVID cure. Them cute kittens. Turns out, cute kittens are the cure. Is Stone Ocean animated? If Blizzard still has Diablo 4 in development. If I'm alive. If so, then to see if I'm divorced. Priorities. Outcome of sporting events, so I can place some bets. Also, I'd look up if my favorite music artists were still alive, so if they were to die I could warn them. Wish I could have done this with Adam McAyoch of the Beastie Boys. See if you can find a copy of the 1925 to 2025 Sports Almanac in PDF form. That way no meddling kids can steal it from your back pocket. I'll write all the future match results, and I'll use it on the lottery, and I'll make money with it. Queen Elizabeth. If there were more searches available, then probably see which countries still exist as they are now. See how COVID-19 played out. Mem so I can make an accurate "this is a meme" from the future. Then see what are the biggest breakthroughs of science in the last 5 years. Probably at least medicine and energy. Also obviously lottery numbers or something. Okay Google. How did COVID-19 play out? Apostrophe. The US surpassed 3 million deaths on Christmas Day 2024. The federal government is currently withholding the vaccine until they have injectable nanobots that have a less than 5% fatality rate in clinical trials. The rest of the world has not had a COVID-related death since 2021 and have banned travel to and from the US. Apostrophe. On the plus side, Mexico did end up paying for that wall after all. My son, to make sure he's still alive. He's chronically suicidal and should be on his own by then. I worry about it. I came here to be a smartass, but this resonates with me. For what it's worth, I struggled, still do, with suicidal ideations and severe depression since I was 10 and didn't ever expect to see 20. I'm 35 now. Still a fight at times, but therapy and meds have helped tremendously, as have the support subs for mental illness here on Reddit. There is help out there if he's inclined. For me, just knowing there are people I can count on helps a lot. Just being able to vent is all I need from friend and family, and psych helps with the heavier stuff. Best wishes for y'all. Dr. Tracy Marks is a psychologist with an educational YouTube page regarding mental health I found from one of the support subs that has helped me tremendously get a frame of reference for things. Going to link the first thing I come across as an easy access to her page. Link b/lx8wrui1h. Again, best wishes. I can only imagine how hard this is from that side of the table. Edit. I appreciate the gestures of the awards and was honestly a bit overwhelmed at the response at first. I have no clue what to do with access to premium, and am just as likely to get lost in my art and forget I have it until after it expires. I'd say save it for those who you know are into that kind of thing. Not intending to seem ungrateful, just feels like a bit of a waste on me. Thanks again. And always remember there is help out there. Took me 6 months of searching and then 1 hour after initial contact to get an appointment with a psychologist once I found someone appropriate. I don't normally post as subs with such large followings and forgot I wasn't speaking to just one person, but glad if anything I said helped others. Gonna leave with a paraphrased Jello Biafra quote. Take care of your community and each other. Apostrophe. 10? Question mark? Wow, that's so young. You seem to be doing so well now, and you should be proud you have come so far. Any advice on what to say to a youngster who might be going through something similar? What would you have wanted/needed to hear when you were 10? For me, I think I needed to be heard and to get away from the toxic family life I was dealing with. Stepdad had some narcissistic tendencies that could be brutal to cope with. Still managing that now. I think finding a good therapist and me coming to terms with the fact that I needed medication were major factors. Only in the last month have I really accepted that some meds are better than others, and I might have to have a rough run on a few meds that don't work out until I find one that does. The Reddit support groups here are an amazing resource for realizing it's not just me. Others are struggling too, and re-adding some success and some horror stories. Off meds. Become manic. Total a car 4 states away they were unscathed in the accident. Really drove home how important proper treatment is. Cognitive behavioral therapy has done wonders for giving me a better frame of reference and building coping skills for upcoming episodes and avoiding others. The way it was explained to me was our actions affect our thoughts, which affect our moods, which affect how we feel. Much like the fire triangle. Heat, fuel, oxygen. You adjust or remove one part of that, and the fire/crisis can't continue. It's sometimes adjusting my thinking, not letting little things cause me to rage out. Sometimes adjusting my mood, music, or switching songs. Relaxing shower CT, or leaving the stressful/depressing situation. Whichever of those three I can do something about. Doesn't matter which. Can help mitigate some of the worst of it. Finding hobbies to occupy my time helped a lot. I might be depressed and isolate, but I'd spend hours on the guitar or bass, or drawing or reading. Sometimes I couldn't, and had to learn that's okay too. Creative outlets of any kind can be an amazing way to get control of the thoughts in your head, or just give you something else to focus on for a bit. Wasn't until I found the Reddit group that I realized how important community is. I can't always help myself, but I can share my experiences with others and not feel so lost or worthless. Was on an art sub when someone informed me that my feedback was very useful, and it helped me realize I have more merits than I can give myself credit for at times. Exercise and diet play a huge role in not feeling terrible, though I struggle with that. I inadvertently took labor jobs or jobs where what either was ADHD was a positive, and could stay active that way. Skateboarding and BMX riding were my other physical outlet when I was younger, 13 late 20s. And a good therapist also helped a lot. Mental illness run in my family, so by my late 20s it became very clear that I couldn't do this on my own. And if I tried, I had good examples of where that path lead. I think having a caring support system and finding treatment are the biggest first steps, as well as realizing one needs help, and that needing that help doesn't make you weak. I often refer to it as an emotional cancer. It's not suicide. It's a high mortality rate if left untreated. You're not going to beat lung cancer by getting over it. Nor can you do the same for psych issues. Not everyone needs meds for life. Some can use the meds to manage the worst often symptoms, and then use therapy to help build coping skills to navigate around the issues associated with our condition. Some of us do need meds for life. Is it a picnic? No, but neither is endless despair. Between the two, I'll take being twitchy over being despondent. The hardest part is there's no magic button. It's work. But nothing in life of value is ever easy. And like I remind myself and my support community, we have value and are worth that effort. Sorry for this wall of TXT. I'm a bit verbose. Lurking on the Reddit depression support subs can be helpful. Beware the anti-such subs. Most are people who are misled, or have had a few terrible experiences, and I can't say I blame them for their mistrust, but that's not the whole of psychology. Yes, I've had terrible doctors, but I've also had amazing ones as well. Good luck. It's a tough road, but one that is possible to navigate. It's not suicide. It's a high mortality rate if left untreated. You're not going to beat lung cancer by getting over it, nor can you do the same for psych issues. Semicolon. Wow. This alone puts it in perspective. Thank you. I would check my mails and message apps to find out how I'm doing in the future. If the phone continuously updates, so that it always show the internet of in 5 years, then I would probably look for scientific breakthroughs like fusion, and also for catastrophes. Then I would start writing messages to myself like a diary, so I can see them in the present. And also in 2025 I would start copying the messages from then in 5 years and send them to myself, so I can see the messages of the next 100 years, assuming I live that long. Edit. I probably would write a script that copies the messages for me. You should be able to get information about your whole life essentially right away, since you can always go look 5 years into the future and leave information for yourself to pass back into the past. Essentially continuously. It's almost like the 5-year limit becomes pointless. If I had unlimited searches, I'd probably look up the Reddit front page first. There's a lot of information in there that would give a good general explanation about that time period, and from there on I could search up anything that seems interesting while already having some context. You could post all the memes before they had been posted. Yeah, but see, then someone would steal the meme and get thousands of more upvotes. Is Betty White still alive? I don't need a time machine to tell you that. Yes, she'll still be there in 5 years. Or 50. She'll outlive the heat death of the universe. Then punch the queen to create a new Big Bang. I'm counting on it. Time travel, practical application. Bold of you to assume we'll make it another 5 years. This guy has the phone. He knows. He is the one. The chosen one. Boba for the chosen one. We are nothing but foolish mortals. I asked my 14-year-old as a conversation starter. He replied, "Big booty bitches, apostrophe. I hope you said it in the droopy dog voice." He did now. My family members' names. I want to know who to call and go see every chance I get. If they don't have that much time left, you could always pretend that they don't have that much time left and call them anyway. Yeah. But who has that kind of time? There's so many shows and games to binge. /s. Lottery numbers. Is Hunter x Hunter back yet? Apostrophe. Only to be met with the comic book. Article saying Togashi says he will resume Hunter x Hunter soon. Apostrophe. Covered vaccine. Hente. Get them earlier than the other horny bastards. Cat girls. You know, I came here to see people say Half-Life 3 has Assassin's Creed found back to its former glory, JoJo Part 9, etc. But your questions is clearly a stroke of genius. Wit. It just stops 5 years from now. Cryptocurrency status. Wars or terrorist attacks that have happened so that we can avoid them or prepare for stuff like pandemic and natural disasters early. I'm still just going to scroll Reddit. Link. M. Wikipedia. org/wiki/timeline _of_the_21st_century. Dank memes. Check if I'm still single. You'll be. Ed creator Reddit thread asking what people would search for if they had access to internet 5 years ahead of time. Mind blown. Pornhub's most viewed videos of the last year. Duh. Plot twist. You realize far too late that the top video is of your currently 13-year-old sister. Win the lotto, but not enough to be super rich, but enough to settle debts and get started. Also see if there are any major disasters I need to prepare for. And check the obituaries to see if there are any family members I need to see more often / forgive. If it takes their death to forgive them, you can probably do that now. The internet still exists in 5 years. So that's my first worry assuaged. Looks for quadruple anal videos. Surely by then someone has finally figured out the logistics. Username checks out. Elden Ring. That's 5 years of time travel. Hear me out. Let's say you keep a journal of everything that happens to you online, along with a record of all the outcomes. By being able to look 5 years into the future, you are able to see everything that's happened in your life, especially where you went wrong. With the knowledge that you're doing something different, your future message history changes. 2 versions of you have now lived 5 years, and the internet reflects that. To go any further, first, we need to talk about parallel universes, which I'll explain with Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat is a paradox used to explain the ability for a cat in a box to be both dead and alive. You have a lethal toxin with a 50% chance to go off in the box every 30 seconds, killing the cat. However, because there is no camera inside the box, the cat can be either dead or alive. You don't know until you open the box. Now, to the alternate universes part. Let's say you open the box after the first 30 seconds. There are 2 possible realities. The cat is dead, or the cat is alive. This continues down the line, with the chance of a living cat getting smaller and smaller. But it's never 0. And until you open the box, it is both alive and dead. By being able to see the messages that reflect your actions in the future, you change your course of events. One timeline is you do exactly what the message says. You change nothing. Another timeline is you adapt to the new situation. The only problem with that is you're now posting about your life, which would impact you 5 years into the past. Another timeline is formed, and you react to the second timeline, either doing nothing or alternating the path. This goes on and on. With the knowledge that past you can see the future, you can also send warnings of things to avoid. For example, while you don't get to time travel far, it's still 5 years of time travel of sending messages to change the future, or not. That might not have made any sense. Anyways, using this logic, I'd want to try to fight climate change. We are approaching the point of no return. And unless we figure out how to change things quickly, we adapt. I'd use the first 5 years to learn the issue. Then, I'd write a big note to self online on what I studied, what was important, what wasn't. I'd include things to avoid, things to try going for, a point of no return that scientists concluded, and that they should constantly update in case I get involved in an accident. This would lead to a long chain of studying, trying to find solutions, and ways to get involved into politics in order to actually have a chance of making anything change. The saddest part is, it might not even be possible. And so there would be an unlimited amount of me's trying to prevent imminent doom, only to fail over and over and over again. TLDR, it's time travel. Due to alternate timelines forming, when you change what you post on the internet, I'd read future notes from myself and doom myself to 5 years of climate change prevention over and over again. Unable to change a thing. You wrote an essay where people are writing sports results. Congrats. I really liked your outlook. The newest science breakthroughs, so I can instead blow everyone's minds with my genius. I was thinking, after winning the lotto, create mega grants to the scientists who make these discoveries. Then they discover this stuff sooner. Save the world. Date of release for Cyberpunk 2077. Or date they are planning to release it. Op said it only goes 5 years ahead though. One Piece manga. How long does it work for? If it is permanent, lottery numbers once or twice anymore, and you would draw attention. Then best tech developments and startups to invest in. Locate the brightest and smartest graduates to come and work for you, and enough dirt on politicians to let you get away with what you're planning. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.